My grandfather made every grandchild memorize the route to the fallout shelter before we were allowed to unpack our bags. I didn't understand why until the night the sirens actually went off. The rule was the same every summer. You didn't touch a suitcase, you didn't get a bed, you didn't get dinner until you could walk the route with your eyes shut. Say it, he told me the first time when I was 7. Out the back door, past the pump, left at the burn barrel, down the steps, pull the door until it clicks twice. Twice, he said. Not once, twice. Grandpa, the war's over. Say it again. I said it again. I said it every June for 11 years. He drilled us at odd hours. 3 in the afternoon, 6 in the morning, once at 11 p.m. in the rain. He'd stand at the top of the steps with a stopwatch and a flashlight, and he never came down with us. Not once. He'd count us through the door, and then he'd shut it, and we'd sit on those cold benches with the canned peaches and the ancient board games until he knocked. My cousin Emily used to say he was just an old man with an old fear. Then Emily stopped coming, and nobody explained that either. The night it was real, I was 17. The siren started at 2 a.m., this rising, grinding howl that came from everywhere, that got into your teeth. I was down the stairs before I was awake. My cousins were already moving. Ruthie had baby Colton on her hip. Mason was ahead of me, barefoot, running like he'd been born running. Out the back door, past the pump, left at the burn barrel. But Grandpa wasn't at the top of the steps. He was at the barn, and he had the shotgun, and he was walking away from us. Grandpa, get in the shelter. It's a bomb. You have to come with us. Twice, he said, without turning. Pull it twice. Mason grabbed my shirt and hauled me down the steps. The door clicked once behind us. I stopped it before the second click. What are you doing? Ruthie hissed. He's out there. He's always out there. I looked at her. She was 19 and she wasn't scared. None of them were scared. They were sitting down. Colton was already asleep. How many drills have you done? I asked. Same as you. And he never once came down here with us. Ruthie didn't answer. I went back up. The siren cut off mid-note, like something had been unplugged, and the quiet after it was worse. I found Grandpa in the barn, standing over a steel plate in the floor I had walked across 100 times without ever once wondering what it was. The plate was open. The bolt on it, the huge sliding bolt, was on our side, on the outside. Grandpa, what is that? Go back. What is under your barn? He didn't look up. You remember Emily. She stopped visiting. She didn't stop visiting. He racked the shotgun. She stopped. The floor of my stomach went out. Your Uncle Wade took her when she was 9, he said. They never found her. They never found enough of her to find. And they never proved a thing. So he came home, and he sat at my table, and he ate my food, and he smiled at me. Grandpa, the siren isn't for the government, son. There's no station broadcasting it. It's a switch in my kitchen. He nodded at the hole in the floor. And I hit it every single time I have to open this. I looked at the steps we'd all run down 1,000 times. Out the back door, past the pump, left at the burn barrel, away from the barn. Always away from the barn. The drills, I said. The drills are so you're locked in and counted when I feed him. Something moved in the dark under the barn. Then it came up fast, a hand, an arm, a filthy gray shape hauling itself out of that hole, and it was a man, and the man had my grandfather's jaw and my father's eyes, and he was screaming a name that used to be a little girl's. Grandpa didn't shoot. He couldn't. Wade was already on him, and the shotgun went sideways into the straw. I didn't think. I put my shoulder into Wade's chest and drove him backward, and his heel found the edge of the hole, and he went down it the way water goes down a drain, all at once and screaming. I dropped onto the plate with my whole body. The steel rang. The bolt was cold, and it was heavy, and it took both hands. It slid home with a sound like a door clicking twice. Underneath me, he started pounding. Grandpa got up slow, wiping his mouth, and looked at me for a long moment with something that wasn't gratitude. It was relief. Well, he said, now you know the route. Grandpa, we call the police tonight, right now, and tell them what? That I've had my son in a hole for 11 years. He picked up the shotgun. He handed it to me. I'm 81, son. That's why you all memorized it. One of you was going to have to keep feeding him.